people start with $2,000.
Yes.
Okay, and I need you to be real with my people.
Yep.
Because I'm gonna check you if you don't.
Again, okay.
I only can talk to Teri. That's my girl.
So the $2,000. Let's go back to that.
Okay, $2,000. If they have that investment,
what do they do?
Two questions: what do they do, and is there a strong possibility that they can lose all of it?
Great. Okay, so let's start first with what do they do?
Yes.
So honestly, what I would tell them to do is first get educated.
Yep.
Like, spend some money on getting educated, because what'll happen is, and this may sound cliche, but what will happen is people will jump into Robinhood account or whatever account and they have no education and they'll try to figure it out on their own, and then they'll lose $2,000.
Yeah.
And they could have just used that on the front end to learn what to do.
Yes.
So I actually think when you first start, first investment should be some education around how to invest correctly.
And we're going to talk about that, so y'all keep that locked.
Yeah.
Because that's why you're here.
And then, thank you. And then once they do that, the next thing is, okay, I want you to take $500 of it and put it into an account, like fund a brokerage account. That's step one. You have to open a brokerage account.
Okay.
A brokerage account is kind of like a checking account, but it's a checking account where you can actually invest in stocks. Okay. You know this, but just for anybody who doesn't.
Absolutely. Let's do it.
So I actually don't think they should do the whole $2,000. Put $500 and then trade in a simulated account.
Okay.
Yep. It depends what broker you use, but I know TD Ameritrade, TradeStation, and a couple others, you can fund the account and then trade with fake money first. Okay. That's actually step one. Okay. As you're learning in whatever program, then practice with fake money until you become good. Okay. Again, we're trying to avoid the just try it out and then lose all your money. We're avoiding that.
Gotcha.
So you're trading with the fake money.
Okay.
As you start seeing that your returns are increasing, then you can start putting the whole $2,000 into that account. And your goal is going to be to make on a regular basis, it doesn't have to be every day, but about 1% of your cash amount.
So $2,000 is $20.
Yes. Okay. But just think, if you're doing that each day, that's still $100 a week, $400 a month. That's 20% return, which is huge. That's bigger than somebody on here I know is going to be like, Teri, nobody can make 20% a month. My students are doing it. They're making $1,000 in a day. Yeah. Like, we know that they're doing it.
I have.
But those small baby steps, like trying to just go for 1% return, is going to eventually start adding up to bigger amounts.
Okay. So I guess for me, my biggest fear is they take that $2,000 and let's just say they put it in there after they get the education, which I believe you do provide the best education. I've seen your course. I respect your course. Can my people lose their money?
Yes.
Okay.
So, and I'm just being honest.
I appreciate you for being honest.
Every investment, there's also a risk.
Absolutely.
So one of the big parts of my course is like the whole week 2. Okay. Like, you get in first, I get you started, but then week 2, we're talking about risk management. Okay. So there is a big plan in order to protect yourself from losing. Okay. One of those things is called a stop loss order. Okay. A stop loss is literally, it's an order type where if the stock starts falling, it'll take you out of the trade. Okay. So you can dictate how much you are going to lose. And I think that's where people get scared. They think they're just going to lose the whole $2,000. But if I put a stop loss in that says if I lose 100, take me out, the max I can lose is 100. But most people don't know that's available, that exists. So there are ways to protect your investment. Also, even before you get into the trade, you should be calculating your reward to risk ratio.
So not your risk to reward. You start off with rewards to risk.
Some people say risk to reward, but I think it's an easier calculation.
Yeah, I feel you.
Like, for me, my reward should be 3 times my risk. So if I'm trying to make $100, I don't want to risk more than $30 on this trade.
So good. Mm-hmm. So good. Okay.
And you can calculate that before you even take the trade. So that's, again, how you take higher probability trades and how you can kind of protect yourself from losing as much.
So what kind of stocks are you investing in on a daily basis?
Great question. I do healthy companies. I'm not a penny stock girl. Okay. If somebody comes to me with a stock that I don't know, that's not me. I'm looking at healthy companies that longer term investors would probably invest in too. Okay. So we're looking at the Apples, the Amazons, the Facebooks, the Chipotle, good solid companies that have had an upward trend over time. Yeah. Like I said, longer term investors would probably pick the same ones, but we just trade in and out of it for income.
Boy. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So once they get in, right, how many students have you had go through your course?
Over 7,000.
Over 7,000, okay. Mm-hmm. And out of those 7,000, what would you say is the average, like what is your average student saying that they're making on a monthly basis?
Yeah. Well, I can't say an average.
Okay.
Because it's a self-paced course.
I love it.
So people can kind of go at their own pace.
I love it.
But I will say we had $1 million in a day challenge.
Whoa, wait. Where people were making $1 million in a day?
No.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, girl, now you sounded too good to be true.
I'm not too good to be true. You just don't know.
I'm just keeping it a buck. Okay.
But no, so if I could teach 1,000 people to make $1,000 in a day, that means my community, our trade and travel group, would be generating $1 million a day.
Wow.
And we've tracked that.
Wow.
So we had people like, if they hit $1,000 in a day, and there were rules because we didn't want it to be like outlandish.
Yeah.
But if they made $1,000 in a day, they took a screenshot and they sent it to us.
Okay.
Just early, like in the beginning of this year, we hit over 1,000 students making $1,000 in a day. Now we're closer to 2,000 students making $1,000 in a day.
Are you serious?
Yes. And they're like, literally, like it's realized gain. They can now go and, like I have one girl, she's funding scholarships for students with her money.
So she's making an impact.
Yes, exactly. Like we're changing lives for real.
Yeah.
We have another lady, she renovated her kitchen, but she was so excited because her husband told her, like, this is all the money you're gonna get. So she decided to invest the money instead of just putting it on the kitchen. Mm-hmm. She made the money for the kitchen and still had her money there. So she could then start looking for other renovation projects.
Wow.
Yes. So it's just cool.
You know, while I'm looking at you, I see you get excited.
Yeah.